Hello and welcome back to the BNEWS Election Center for another update from the campaign trail as we inch closer to Election Day on April 9th. Last night we held our candidate debates in the BCAT studio for the races of the Board of Health and School Committee. Many topics were covered in the debate for School Committee, including racial disparities in schools, transportation issues, the ongoing teacher contract negotiations, and navigating a post-pandemic world. The candidates' closing statements highlighted the issues most important to them.
I prepared for this debate by watching the 2016 and the 2020 debates, and I'm saddened that some of the issues that we're talking about today we have been talking about for 6 years. I want to join the school committee to start moving things forward and take some action. I look forward to leveraging my private sector project management experience in project oversight, including major building activities that the district needs to undertake in the next decade. Having managed large budgets, I promise strict accountability for our district's budget. I have the expertise to guide the development of a strategy that will support the growing and changing needs of the community during a historically challenging era.
I'll provide fresh vision, bold new ideas for problem solving, valuable leadership and planning expertise to address challenges within the system. Additionally, I seek to be not only a vocal advocate for concerns brought to the committee, but to foster community participation and interaction during committee meetings. At the same time, I'd like to make all documentation and policy more accessible in a consolidated, well-organized location on the BPS website and truly bring the Burlington school system into the digital age.
We have small class sizes. We're committed to small class sizes. We have led the Commonwealth on expanding computer science instruction. We introduced one-to-one iPads and coding to every grade. We have award-winning robotics teams, renowned art and music departments, and the very best athletic teams. Our core academics are second to none. We work hard. We have a wonderful, dedicated staff. We have a beautifully diverse community of families and students. We have soaring property values. Burlington is an awesome place to live. Right now, the school committee needs experience and consistency, along with educational and fiscal responsibility.
When it came to the Board of Health, candidates were asked what lessons can be learned from COVID-19 and how they can be implemented for a future potential pandemic. The candidates had this to say.
Unlike so many communities, we were ready, and not with just vaccinations, but with contact tracing, a source of credible information in a sea of misinformation. This Board of Health was ready to go. 10 years from now, this Board of Health will be ready to go. We continuously keep our storehouse filled with emergency material. We continuously drill with our Burlington Medical Reserve Corps, now called the Volunteer Reserve Corps. We will still have everything in place. We still be ready. And if emergency breaks out, we will be there.
At the beginning of this pandemic, back in the spring of 2020, there were not enough supplies for healthcare workers. There were not enough masks. There wasn't enough equipment for the hospitals. And we didn't even realize this was an airborne illness, and people were being discouraged from wearing masks. We have learned a lot. If this were to happen again, and hopefully it never does, we should have supplies, protective PPE, for all healthcare workers readily available.
The important takeaways would be the communication piece of things. People not truly understanding what the virus was about, being afraid of possibly using the vaccinations. There's so many different areas of misinformation that I think that we need to do a better job of communicating to residents, but also allowing the access to what they need. The question becomes, how do you implement that? And that would be something we'd have to start working on now for then.
The candidates also spoke on navigating a potential increase in COVID-19 cases, climate change on a local level, and the ever-growing biotech industry in Burlington. You can find the full debates as well as our Select Board candidate forums online now at our Election Center page on our website, and also airing on BCAT's government channel starting this week. We also have our Planning Board candidate forums coming up, so plenty of ways to stay informed before casting your vote. Don't forget, Election Day is Saturday, April 9th at Burlington High School. Polls will be open from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. From the BNEWS Election Center, this is Chris Flaherty. Back to you in the studio.